Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to talk to you today about SAP process integration with cloud environments. My name is Khoder Elzein. I'm responsible for pre-sales and product management at Theobald Software. My colleague Christian Tauchmann, software consultant, will also join me later and show many live demos. In today's presentation, we would give you an overview about our company, and then we will explain the architecture of our product, ECS Core, that you can use for connectivity with different platforms, apps, and workflow. And then my colleague Christian would show you some live demos for that SAP process integration with K2 Cloud, with Nintex Workflow Cloud, and with the Microsoft Power Platform. And then we would talk about advantages and next steps. So let's start with an overview about our company. So Theobald Software has more than 16 years of experience in the design and development of SAP connectivity. Thanks to our know-how combined with the experience from more than 3,000 international clients, we can create a solid basis for the software and the respective business processes. We ensure the highest level of transparency, individual customization, and flexibility without losing sight of the cost. You would find references about our customer on our website, where you can also download many different success stories. You would find there large and smaller size SAP customers among our customers and among all industries. Providing optimal service and the best possible advantages for our clients is our top priority. This is why we developed an extensive ecosystem of partners in Europe and throughout the world who complement our products with their solutions portfolio and expertise. Visit also please our partner directory on our website, where you would find more information. And as a company, we have different locations. So our headquarters is in Germany, Stuttgart, but we have also offices in the US, in France, in Hong Kong, in China, and so far. Proudly speaking, we provide SAP connectors and solutions in mainly two areas. One of on the left side, the area of BI, business intelligence and analytics, and we have solutions for the right side area for application and business process integration. So here think maybe about SharePoint, Office 365 in general, or cloud applications like Salesforce, Dynamics CRM, and workflows like K2, Nintex, and so far that you want to connect to your SAP system. We also have solutions for both types of scenarios. So let's now spend some time about the topic why SAP process integration and automation is important and why customer care. So there is need for SAP data in general in SAP and outside of SAP. Let's talk about application and process integration. So here you might have a workflow running where an employee requests something like some time off, travel request, or a purchase of instance, maybe that needs to get routed to a manager who then has to approve the purchase or travel request and so on. That might take place in a portal like Office 365 in K2 or Nintex. It might take place in a custom application. Those platforms may offer collaboration and user-oriented experience and need to integrate with SAP because SAP still is the system of record. This is where your financial information, your employee information is stored. Sure, the process has to be secure, auditable, ideally supported by SAP or certified by SAP, but it also has to be cost effective. If you investigated solutions in this area, you probably found several. There is definitely a few on the market, but some are quite expensive and come with a certain amount of complexity to implement, to learn, maybe even to develop if it requires coding, and customers today are looking for results in shorter time frames, ideally in days and not in months, because they don't want to engage in long consulting projects. Now let's speak about cloud integration with ECS Core. So ECS Core connects to your SAP systems and offer REST services for read and write access. You can bring your SAP data, your SAP functionality, your SAP documents into the cloud platform, independent and easy to set up. So the source system is always SAP. So example given, it can be ECC system, it can be an S4HANA system. ECS Core as a product, you would install it on any Windows environment system. It can be either on-prem near to your SAP system, or you can install it in a virtual machine in the cloud where you establish a secure connection to the SAP system. And ECS Core would offer that web services that you would consume in your application. You can use, for example, Azure Relay for a secure connection between ECS Core and your application that consume that data. So how to interact with SAP system? A part of our product of ECS Core is the Web Service Designer. With the Web Service Designer, you can create web services without coding and without programming. So it offers different methods for integrate with SAP. So the first one is the UI integration. In this case, you can record transactions in SAP and run it. Here you find some examples about that, for example, journal entries and so forth. The other method is to use API integration. That means you have in SAP function modules, or so-called BAPIs. Then you can use that API. Here you see some example. For example, if you'd like to create a purchase requisition and so forth. And the third method is to query any data in your SAP tables or in your SAP views. So here you see the overview of all possible methods. Okay, so let's talk about the architecture of integration. So here on the left side you have your end user. He has some process, and for that he is using your platform. So it can be Office 365 with all the functionalities there. Can be Power App, it can be Power Automate or SharePoint Online. He can use K2, he can use Nintex, just some examples. Yeah? Sure, you can use other environments like Salesforce too and so far. And then the process is running here for SAP data, for SAP documents, for SAP processes. You need a connection to the SAP system that is offered by ECS Core. So again, ECS Core would connect to your SAP system. It offers the three methods that we have talked about: the UI integration, the API integration, and the query integration, and offer that functionality as a standard REST services. That is here the architecture. Now I would hand over to Christian to show you the live demos.
Hi everybody, thank you Khoder for the introduction and the theoretical part. My name is Christian Tauchmann, software consultant at Theobald Software. Let me guide you through 3 showcases about SAP integration with different cloud-based process automation tools. The first demo is about integration with the K2 cloud platform. K2 offers different cloud and on-premises solutions for business process automation and workflow creation. We take a look here at SAP integration with their cloud solution. The K2 cloud platform offers a patented technology called Smart Objects. With Smart Objects, SAP entities and other data connections can be used and handled in a comfortable and sophisticated way. A connection to a service or system is set up once and then abstracted into an easy-to-use smart object, having always the same logic of methods and properties. The REST services created with ECS Core can be encapsulated and used with smart objects. For the integration of external sources, an Open API interface is provided. That means web services created with ECS Core can be exported into a so-called Open API definition and then imported into the K2 platform. Once a smart object is available at K2, it can be used via drag and drop to design forms, workflows, or reports. With that approach, live access to connected systems is provided in a bidirectional way. Let me demonstrate you the capabilities of K2 in combination with ECS Core with a showcase about SAP vendor onboarding. Vendor onboarding requires a lot of different information from different sources. Some data is created by an employee, further information is captured by an automated robot, and other data is created by the vendor itself on a digital K2 form. After review and approval, the vendor will be created directly in the SAP ERP system. We start here on a dashboard that gives an overview on running processes, status, and KPI. Let's create a new vendor. First, an internal user captures relevant master data of the new vendor, plus contact details of our main vendor contact who will participate to deliver more vendor information in the following steps. Submitting this form will trigger the workflow. The first workflow step will start an RPA robot that is capturing additional information in an automated way. So data is captured here and sent back to the workflow. In parallel, the workflow sends out an email notification to the vendor with a link to a vendor portal and a text message with a PIN code to log in. In this vendor portal, an external party can supply more information needed for the process. On this form, for example, we request the vendor to capture his bank details and more information needed to create the account in SAP. Submitting the form will push back the data to the workflow and continue to the next step, which is an internal review and approval form. This form displays all the captured data from the different sources for an internal employee who has reviewed this data and can approve it, if everything is completed and correct. We could add or request more supporting documents if needed. If everything is okay, by clicking the button Review and Approved, the workflow will continue. As a next step, a contract document is generated and sent out for the vendor for signing. The vendor receives once more an email link to the generated contract document, can sign it completely digital and send it back to the process. Let's have a look at the process and see what was happening in all these workflow steps. A robot created a document and sent it out via DocuSign for the vendor for signing. After the signed document was received back, the workflow splits into two parallel branches. So storing the contract document on Google Drive, and the parallel path is creating the vendor in the SAP system. So let's have a look at the SAP system to review the created vendor account. Opening the created vendor by a vendor ID we received with a confirmation email at the end of the K2 workflow. Here we find all the submitted vendor address details and of course as well the bank details. Next, I would like to demonstrate SAP integration with the Nintex Workflow Cloud, or short NWC. NWC is the cloud process automation platform offered by Nintex. Unlike Nintex for Office 365, the other cloud solution from Nintex, NWC is running independently from SharePoint Online or Office 365, but offers integrated connectors to other cloud solutions, such as Dynamics 365, Salesforce, Dropbox, and many more. It also offers a forms designer for interactive web forms. SAP integration with ECS Core is made possible in NWC by the so-called Extensions Framework. The Extensions Framework is an open API interface that allows to upload custom connectors or extensions to the NWC tenant. Direct REST service calls with the call a web service action are also possible. In the use case we prepared for you in this session, the workflow start event lies in Dynamics 365. The idea is that as soon as an account is changed from a prospect to an actual customer, this will trigger an NWC workflow that posts this customer account to SAP. Alright, let's have a look at the process demo. I'm here on a standard Dynamics 365 sales dashboard and already opened an existing customer account. As you can see, basic data such as address information and a phone number is already maintained. The account type is defined as prospect and the SAP customer ID is empty at the beginning. Let me change now the actual customer account type from prospect to customer. This will trigger the NWC workflow in the background. As soon as the process is finished, you can see the customer number created in SAP in field SAP Customer ID after I did a site refresh. That means that the account was successfully created in SAP, which can also be checked directly in the SAP system. Let me check the created customer account in SAP. I enter the correct customer ID, and as you can see, all the information was processed correctly from Dynamics to the SAP ERP system. Let me show you how that integration worked in NWC. I'm here in the workflow instance details, and as you can see, the workflow was completed successfully, the SAP customer ID was logged, and everything looks fine on that end. When we take a look at the workflow, you can see that it is actually a pretty simple one. We have the start event in Dynamics that kicks off the workflow when the account is updated. The next action is already the SAP extension created with ECS Core. The Open API interface was used therefore. Let me open the configuration. We have an SAP connection defined, here pointing to an SAP ERP system, and then we do some field mapping of information coming from the Dynamics 365 side, such as the account name, address data, and so on. Some technical field information needed in SAP to create the account we have hard-coded here with fixed values. As a result variable, we log the customer number created. After that, we update field SAP customer ID in Microsoft Dynamics with the value we got from SAP. Optional, you can do further actions, for example, log this information for history purposes in a SharePoint online list, send a notification in Slack, or via email. After these optional steps, the workflow is completed. Alright, let's go back to the presentation for the third showcase we prepared. The last one is about SAP integration with the Microsoft Power Platform, in this case Power Automate and Power Apps. In Power Automate and Power Apps, it is possible to import custom connectors to external sources and platforms via Open API definitions. It is also possible to do direct web service calls to invoke REST services created with ECS Core. Power Automate has a huge selection of actions and connectors that can be used and allow a lot of use cases for SAP integration. With Power Apps, a powerful tool for interactive mobile forms is available and can be used for use cases with SAP connectivity, as we will see in the demo now. In the demo, I will present an SAP integration scenario for material master data maintenance with Power Apps and Power Automate. A list of materials stored in SAP is accessed via Power Apps, and material information can be changed there, or a new material can be created. Changings made in the app for the material list will trigger a flow in Power Automate that posts this data to the SAP ERP system. Okay, we see here the Power App I explained accessing the SAP table data, which is stored in a SharePoint online list. I can scroll through all these entries and see the details when I click on it. To change information, I just open an entry and can change the material title. All other values are fixed values that cannot be changed in SAP once a material is created. When I confirm the changings, a flow will be triggered in the background that posts this changing directly to the SAP ERP system, where it can be looked up. When I open the material number in SAP, you can see that the material description has changed according to my modifications in the Power App. Okay, what happened exactly in the background? A flow was triggered in Power Automate that posted this data to SAP. You can see here the overview screen of the workflow where the last successful runs are displayed and some other general information about the used connections and so on. It is a pretty simple workflow with only two actions. The first one is the trigger action, As soon as an item in the SharePoint Online list is created or modified, the custom connector for creating or changing material information will be executed. When I open the custom connector's configuration, you can see that there are some fields mapped coming from the SharePoint Online list, for example the material group, title and so on. It is also possible to set fixed values for information that should be the same all the time, as the country key for example. What could also be interesting for you to see is the way custom connectors can be imported in Power Automate. This is actually pretty simple. You see in this screen an overview of already uploaded connectors for different use cases. An open API file created with ECS Core can be imported and implemented by clicking on New Custom Connector and Import an Open API file. When I click on Edit a Custom Connector, I can go through different tabs with general information, security and definition details, and can test the connector directly here before I implement it in a flow. Alright, that's it with the live demos. At that point, I would like to give back over to my colleague Khoder, who will guide you through the rest of the presentation. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you, Christian, for the live demos. Here on the slide you see some business scenarios that we deliver for free as configured templates that you can use. Sure, we would be happy to assist you with those scenarios and with other scenarios that are not listed here. That helps our customer in general to start to make a POC and to be sure that the product is the right product for their scenario. So we would be happy to assist you with that. Now let's talk about the advantages of ECS Core. So it combines the strength and flexibility of all methods for integration with SAP that include API integration, like using BAPI and function models, UI integration, that means transaction recorder and so far, and Choric query integration to access data from your tables and views. The product is easy to install and configure. It can be used by consultants, by architects. There is no need for developing, or you don't need any coding, neither on the SAP side nor in your environment, like for example Office 365 or K2 or Nintex and so far. And it's compatible with in general many cloud and on-prem solutions, as it offers standard REST services that can be consumed by almost any application. And here we offer support for Open API or Swagger format that makes integration easier with different environments like K2, like Nintex, and like Power Platform or Power Apps. We have seen that we offer pre-built integration scenarios that makes things easier, especially at the beginning. And the other benefit is you don't need any installation or you don't have to install any other add-on on the SAP system. So you can use your SAP system as it is, even older systems and so far. And sure, as we are an SAP partner, so the product is based on a proven and certified SAP integration technology. And sure, what's important is that you achieve more with that SAP integration with a lower total cost of ownership. So thank you so far for all that information. Now we would be happy to invite you to download our trial version. So you can download it directly from our website. It's free of charge. It's valid for 30 days. Without any restrictions. You can use all the functionalities with all the platform, Nintex, K2, Office 365 and so far. That include our support. If you need any help, if you have any questions about technical installation, configuration, about the business scenario and so far, that's all included. And you have sure access to our online help where you can find our technical documentation and so far. Thank you so far for your attendance. Please feel free to contact us if you have any questions. We will be happy to support you.
Thank you for being a part of the Galactic Collaboration Summit. Join the community and meet in-person world-class Microsoft and MVP speakers this autumn in Wiesbaden, Frankfurt, Germany, with 15 full-day tutorials and over 150 Microsoft 365 and Azure sessions at the combined European Collaboration Summit and European Cloud Summit from 26 to 28 October 2020. Community rocks.